Hey guys, that is with Chainbreaker's Garden here. Going to give you an update on what we got going on. Not much progress, but some progress. Um, we'll show you. All right, so this is all, you've seen these guys before. They've gotten a lot bigger though since the last time you've seen them. We got to do some spacing, better spacing here with the broccolis. They're magnificent though. We got the biggest, that's almost the size of a nice collard leaf there. That's doing really good. So that's perfect. That's absolutely beautiful. Potatoes, which were new, well not new, but they were just hanging around. They've finally got some, winter finally came through and knocked them back. The cabbages, of course, still look fantastic. They're growing really well. I think the last time you saw this bed was kale. I've raked it all down, and if you follow us over on Instagram, we have about 1,000 seedlings. Actually, as of last night, I got probably about 1,500 seedlings, and so this bed, we're just going to start over. I just did not like the germination that we got out of it, and I know it's just too cold to really be germinating seeds outside. So we made some adjustments, and I have more kale to take this place here. This bed is in the process of being built. I need 10 beds in this section here. When I ran my numbers last night, I need 10 beds in this section. So we had to come through here, cut a bunch of the pineapple sage. Well, hopefully we'll relocate it by the end of next year, because as you can tell, it's casting shade there. And we got a mystery bird coming out here laying eggs. That's always great. But we cut that, and I used the lemongrass to go in between our rows, right? Because I think it was always prepping and gardening. Shout out to Miss Teresa, Sister Teresa, fantastic channel. She suggested that look for a chip drop, right? And I just taking wood chips and putting them through the center beds. But I said, well, wait a minute, let me think about that. And then I noticed that we have to cut the lemongrass in order to cut this bed out right here, right? So in order for me to make this bed continue to come down, I've got to cut back this lemongrass. Going forward, hopefully this works. I think it will, and hopefully it'll help us a little bit on the weed control in those walking rows. At the same time, hopefully it continues to feed the worms, man, over the years. So as they break down, the worms continue to be fed, and lemongrass grows like wildfire. So if you guys remember this lemongrass, it was little microscopic things when I bought them, and now they're just tall. They're coming up darn to my nose, so that's pretty tall. Going forward, hopefully I'll grow more of these just for that purpose, for organic matter. This back side looks a whole lot different. I begin to tear all this down. I've got to make 2 new beds on this side, and we've already begun the prepping process and the solarization process for this section for next year. All right, so this is for 2022. This has to get done as soon as possible. So I've got to continue to take all this stuff up. There's a bunch of critters out here, man. It was a lot of animals back here. So, it is just there were a lot of bugs. I mean, there was bugs, there was baby mice, there was a ton of things back here, and I never saw the mother mouse. So, that's what happens, I guess, when you lose the guard dog, right? When you lose your farm dog, you get all these other little mystery animals come out. So, I don't plan on getting another dog anytime soon. So, gotta let that wound heal. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, I was thinking about maybe getting a cat, maybe, and getting a spayed female cat. Maybe she'll hang around out here for a little bit and do some damage control for us, run off some things, Red Russian kales, that subsection, I'm just building these beds right now and coming through and filling up those walking rows. So once I get done with all that, I'll come in and start weeding. But as you can tell, the Red Russian kale is going really well. So the reason we have 1,000 seedlings is because we want to break this down to where we can get 3 of each kale in a 30-inch bed, spaced approximately 6, I think they're about 6 inches apart. And they look to be doing really well. We planted these from seeds, and if you guys remember, they were scrawny little things. They got a really good taste about them. They taste a lot better than the other kales, kind of a soft taste. You know how regular kales it's an acquired taste. Same thing with the red boars. We're just gonna try to germinate them inside. They look decent enough, but I'm not gonna fight that. And we got to come back through and do more weeding over here. Once everything is done in here, then we will, once the seedlings are done, I'll come in, I'll actually root all this stuff up. That should be fun, loads of fun, yeah. Canaries in the coal mine. If you guys got tomatoes, volunteer tomatoes, leave them out. They'll let you know as soon as the real winters come. And that's what they've done for me right there. So that's all done there. Brussels sprouts finally taking off. All right, and over here, this grass that I'm using for my ornamental grass in front of my house. That is whatever that grass is with those little cattails on it. I'm coming through and I'm working them down in between the beds as well. Adding that organic matter at the same time. Hopefully we're killing back weeds. Over here is collards. These collards look really good. I don't know if you guys remember last video that we showed you. But man, those collards, they're really doing really well. So I've always had really good luck with brassicas. They work really well with clay soil. My wife is reclaiming her time. She's reclaiming that space back there where that white fence is. And that's where the original garden started. And she's reclaiming her time in that space. So Operation Chicken Relocation is underway. And don't laugh at my carpentry because I'm not a carpenter. I'm a farmer. I'm a grower. I'm not a carpenter. That's not my area of expertise. But here it is. This is a standard 4x4 chicken coop. Like I said, I'm not a carpenter. We got to put a window here. We've got to finish putting the roof on it, and this is where our door is coming. And there's about 1, 2, 3. There's 5 perches in here, approximately. I think about 3.5 feet long in each perch. So hopefully they do pretty decent. They're pretty sturdy. That nail missed right there a little bit. So I stood on this thing, so it didn't go anywhere. So that's a good thing. On the back, we just got a standard nesting box. Like I said, I got to get the covering on it, or it's just gonna be worthless. Standard nesting box runs the entire length of the coop, and it's just pretty straightforward. Cover that up, and that's it. We got to put another roof on the top of it, and once we do that, OSB boards on the outside. Hopefully get them primed and painted, and they'll be good to go. So I got to get that done like yesterday. So that's something for when everybody's away and at school and stuff, and so hopefully that'll get done. Update on what else we've got. Our little chickens are up there. I'm not gonna walk up there and show them to you. They've been adopted by one of the other chickens up there, so that's worked out really well for her. We really needed that. She adopted them, and so they're doing really well. This area has been designated by the USDA as a farm. We got that. We got a farm number. Of course, we've always been in LLC. Well, not always, but we've been in LLC for a little bit of a minute. We got the EID number, and that's about it. What I can remember right now, at least. If you're thinking about turning your space into a farm, you don't need 1,000 acres. You don't need 100 acres. Even though statistics probably tell you that may be kind of your downfall. If you get a big farm, it's kind of hard to run those bad boys. You know what I'm saying? If you are thinking about this, reach out to the FSA, reach out to the USDA, and they normally get you on the right track, man. And it's harmless. It's not harmless, but really simple to get your farm number and get your area designated as a farm. Super simple. If you're thinking about doing certified organic, it's what we need to get our certified organic going forward. My question to them was the proximity to livestock to crop, right? Because I recently attended the conference of sustainable agriculture, and a very expert woman said it was going to be hard to get organically certified. Yeah. If you have chickens and you have crops, right? And so after speaking with the FSA and reaching out to the University of Clemson, what I found out is you can have your chickens, so long as your chickens are well maintained and you can prove to them that they're not going to be able to get out and get to your crops. And I think it's 180 days that you have. Hold on, I don't want to tell you wrong. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me see. I wanted to pull it up because I didn't want to tell you wrong. Raw animal manure, which must be composted unless it is incorporated into the soil not less than 120 days prior to the harvest of product whose edible portion has direct contact with the soil surface or soil particles. And it must be incorporated into the soil not less than 90 days prior to the harvest of a product whose edible portion does not have direct contact with the soil. That's the Manure Act, right? So that's how you guys the raw manure. I guess is it an act? The National Organic Program has a manure. That's the manure regulation for the states here in the United States of America. So if you got crops that are going to come in direct contact with the soil, that's 120 days. It can't be incorporated in the soil no more. No less than 120 days prior to the harvest, and if they're not going to come in contact with the soil, that's 90 days. I don't think that's honestly, I mean, unless you got some really good, unless you're doing, I guess if you're doing drip tape, then the soil's not gonna bounce up, right? There's no there's no probability that the soil will bounce up. But if you're doing overhead, or if you're not in a high tunnel or something like that, and rain, once it falls, of course, naturally water is gonna hit your crop. So I would think if you're gonna do any kind of brassicas or anything like that, you probably want to stick to that 120 days if you're thinking about doing certified organic. I'm really in the weeds right now, but I think that's something probably I think some folks need to know, because I mean, this is something that I think anybody can do this, man. So I want to encourage everyone to do it if you have an opportunity to do so. If you have any more questions, you can always reach out to me via email or on Instagram. I want to thank you all so much over there on Instagram. I think we're almost at 650 something people over there. So man, shout out to y'all. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for holding down the YouTube channel, even though we're not making a ton of content at the time being. You're still, our subscriber count is still going up, so I appreciate it so much, man. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell when you know when we're putting out new stuff. And I want to thank you guys so much for holding us down. You guys are coming along with us on this journey. I appreciate it so much. There is random people walking by. They've thrown me off. I don't know. Anyway, I'm completely thrown off. But yeah, so that's what we want to do. And what would we want to do? What am I saying? You be in the zone and people just throw you off and they're looking at you all kind of strange and whatnot. Do you know to wave or not to wave? They're not really throwing their hand up to wave, so should I wave first? Or I don't know. I'm terrible about I'm terrible about that stuff. But like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we put out new stuff. I pray the atmosphere that you're moving, that you're building, and that you're growing in is of nothing but God. I pray you and your family remain covered. Amen. Man, we're gonna get it again some other time, y'all. I guess when people walking by, go ahead, throw your hand up. Even if you don't know them, they're not your neighbors. Just say hey and keep it moving. Anyway, peace.